This is how Maduro was captured, updated version with the latest details of the assault and the secret weapons. Operation Absolute Resolution had been preparing for several months. In fact, in the United States, the army had built a replica of the bunker building where Maduro was residing so that the Delta Force could perform 1,000 drills for the operation to be perfect and ultra fast. I must tell you that the area where Maduro was located was the Tiuna military fort, that is, the headquarters of the Ministry of Defense, where high-ranking military officials also live. Since October, the CIA had been conducting covert operations in Venezuela with agents monitoring all of Nicolas's movements. They also had an informant within the Venezuelan government, feeding them every detail of what was happening inside that fort. Not to mention the US had been flying undetectable drones over the Venezuelan capital for months, monitoring everything in great detail. So after several feints that had to be canceled due to bad weather, on Friday, January 2nd, at 10:46 p.m., Trump gave the green light to the operation. Immediately, everything activates, and 150 aircraft launched from 20 different military bases, heading for Venezuela. At 2 a.m., the Yankee planes reach the country, and the first fighters obliterate all air defenses, which don't even activate once. Afterward, they take advantage and destroy 4 military bases. Initially, the media claimed the mountain barracks where Hugo Chavez was buried had also been bombed, but that was fake. Nothing was hit there. After all these fireworks, a group of American hackers launched a cyber attack, causing power outages in several Caracas neighborhoods. So, it's time for the infantry to make their move. Delta Force arrive in Chinook helicopters, taking positions around the building where Maduro is after they've secured the area. The operators rappel down onto the roof and let the Rainbow Six operation begin. You have to realize that Maduro and his wife had known for at least 3 minutes that something was occurring, all thanks to the constant noise of so many small planes. So they had already woken up and were making their way to the bunker to avoid being captured. But then, the Delta Force placed explosive charges on the rooftop doors. Boom! And they began to rappel down the 13-story building at full speed, confronting Maduro's personal guard, the famous Presidential Security Battalion No. 6. And they also fight against the First Ring, which is the president's closest security, made up of 32 Cuban intelligence and special forces agents, known as the Black Wasps. In that assault, the American soldiers show no mercy, and thanks to their superior weaponry, they take them out. What's more, they possess a secret weapon, and a Venezuelan survivor has actually confessed that the Delta Force were emitting a specific kind of high-frequency sound, which caused people to become completely unable to move. Then some began to bleed from their noses, others started vomiting blood. It was as if your head was about to explode from the inside, and eventually, almost, on the ground, you simply couldn't move anymore. You already know that this type of weapon is not new. You've most certainly seen riot police from many different countries employing it to break up public demonstrations. However, there was no documented evidence of its deployment in highly specialized operations and with such pinpoint accuracy. Well, the Delta Force finally reached the last underground floor where Maduro and his wife are about to enter the bunker, but upon finding themselves surrounded, they end up surrendering to the American soldiers. You know, the Yankee troops carried ultra-powerful blowtorches in case they arrived late and had to blast open the armored door, Jedi style, with the blades. While this was happening, outside, helicopters were taking rifle fire, which was then answered by more bombing for the fighter jets. Finally, Maduro and his wife were put into one of the helicopters, and off they went, getting out of there at full speed. They flew towards the Caribbean, where the aircraft carrier Iwo Jima was waiting for them. There, at 3:29, the famous photo of the trek suit and VR glasses was taken. This ship will move a bit away from Venezuela, then they'll put the couple back on an aircraft and take them to the Guantanamo base in Cuba, where they'll catch a plane, and then, yes, off to the United States. In total, in this operation, 100 people from the Venezuelan side have died, and the Delta Force only had 7 minor injuries, according to them, of course, plus a helicopter that was hit but was able to return to base. So the moral of the story is wear headphones. See you later, crazy people.